see this? I'm in the right lane, and the line is pretty much, it's a little bit over on the driver's side. So basically, the right lane is non-existent. I should be driving in this lane because this lane doesn't exist right now, right? I can barely fit into it right now. But people will try to drive in that lane and honk their horn at me because I'm in my lane, which is the left lane. And they'll complain to me, beeping at me because I'm in their way, because they're driving a lane that basically doesn't exist at the current state of it being halfway, covered. It's not plowed. And I don't know why they don't plow it back farther, other than maybe the Muni tells them, hey, stop freaking up the curbs. Maybe they did the curbs last year and they don't want to messing up the curbs. I don't know why they don't plow it further back. But it just drives me nuts. Drives me nuts how people are when they drive. It's like, it's wintertime. Stop trying to, everyone knows, well, you would think they would. If it's a 4-lane road, right? In the wintertime, it becomes a 3-lane. Stop trying to drive like it's a 4-lane. It's just not, it's the season. And the 2-lane roads become 1.5 lanes. So you got a regular lane, and you got one that's about the size of a bike lane. Or for a Mini Cooper. It just makes no sense how people drive sometimes. How we feel entitled. Oh, I can't be late to work. Fuck your work. I can't be late. It's just work. They better be happy you showed up at all. But they'll make you feel like something's wrong with you because you're late to work. And I've even said this one before. 15 minutes is on time. On time is late. Right? 15 minutes is on time. And basically what I'm stating is that when you get to work, you gotta take off your coat, you gotta do this, you gotta put on your uniform, you gotta you gotta log in, you gotta clock in, you gotta do this, you gotta go pee, you gotta get your coffee, you know what I mean? Whatever it is that you gotta do, you gotta get settled in. So when you get to work, they want all your time to be invested towards work. As if your personal time doesn't really matter. Your time isn't worth nothing because it's not producing any type of money, If your time isn't producing any type of money, then your time has no perceived value. You already got your commute to work, which is your problem if you live an hour away. You've got your commute, you've got your gas, you've got your wear and tear, you've got that vehicle to maintain to get to and from work. Work doesn't pay for that. Should they pay for that? Should they offer some type of incentive? Reimbursement? Should they? Because you got all this stuff. Work just doesn't cost 8 hours a day. And you don't get any overtime, right? We don't pay overtime. And I do management for my company. Yet, I'm not going to. Come on, I can't see. I do management, and I feel like I'm talking against the company when I'm talking like this, but I'm not the employer. I am an employee of the company. I'm just in management. So I'm still an employee. I'm a main bitch, I guess. But you've got all these factors that play into your job that you don't get paid for it. So your job costs you more than 8 hours. And then it's the weekend. And, hey, buddy. And if, like me, I don't really have a desk. I should. I don't have a computer. I don't have a filing cabinet. I have nowhere to organize my stuff except for my backpack. And if I want to work on a computer, I bring my laptop. I'm not provided the resources that I need, nor have I even asked or requested them. Because I look around the office and I don't know where the heck we would put it. Lack of resources. I come home and I swear, and this is on the evenings, I ruminate about things at work. About how I could have handled a situation differently, how a conversation with an employee could have gone different, how whatever I did, how I executed something could have been done better. And it's not like and if you go through this, I want you to realize that these situations, like where you're thinking about this, you're actually growing, you're learning. If you give a darn, you're growing and learning. So you're not failing when you didn't execute, or if you could have executed a different way, or your boss is like, I would have done it like this, or you got two bosses, each one has a different opinion of the way they would have handled it. So the way you handled it was a success, and you see how you could have handled it better. I usually come up with the best thing to say after the fact. Which in turn leads me to be able to communicate better and more effectively the next time something comes up. So that's growth. You don't have to be perfect. It's all learning. When I come home, my Saturday and Sunday, I'm thinking about stuff for work. I've got paperwork from work laying out. And I'm fighting with myself on, this ain't right. I'm not getting paid for this extra stuff. I don't have the time to do this at work, but it's expected to be done. I gotta get this done. Am I mismanaging my time at work? What do I need to say no to at work so that I can have the time to do some of these things that I'm bringing home with me? Because I don't want to bring shit home with me. I don't want to work my job every day. I have my own life that I have to manage. And sadly, the weekend is when you have to do all this shit, because your weekdays you're too tired and you're too busy getting your stuff ready for, guess what? Going to work tomorrow. Paying stupid freaking bills that we don't really... Man, this world is a scam. If I could charge you to watch this video, if I could charge you to listen to my words, would I find a way to charge you? Would I? Probably. And you know what? Should I feel bad about that? Should I feel guilty about that? If you were interested and you found value enough to where you would pay to listen to my videos, listen to my information, to watch my, hey buddy, you're so cute, to watch and listen to my stuff, and if you found enough value in it that you were willing to exchange money for the information, which you could probably gather from your own personal life experiences, which I'm saving you time going through it, right? And making your own mistakes. I'm giving you the information from my own mistakes, my own lessons in life. So there is a perceived value, an exchange of value in that, of saving you the time of going through it and figuring it out on your own. That wisdom that comes with the time. Buddy! Right? If I could escape going to these jobs, going to work for an employer because you found it necessary to give me money, I should take it, right? Why should I feel guilty for taking your money if you're willing to give it to me, so that I could create more stuff and actually live a life of serving others with my own business, my own way of living, instead of toiling away for somebody else. Why would I feel guilty about that? Other than that I know that you can figure it out on your own if you just gather the information. But if I gathered it all and I spent all my own experiences and I put it all together and packaged it up and presented it to you and you found it informational and educational and valuable, then that guilt shouldn't be there. It should feel like more of an honor to be able to serve others and to be grateful that others feel that way about what I'm doing. So, yeah. Have a good day, you wage slave.